Um, um, that's how we do intro. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Think
sir.
so? Jerry, you always ready, man. Always
Stay ready. Don't get ready.
Yeah, no. Gotta
I
live
like
ready.
that. I like that. I've heard that before, but the way you said it, very, very eloquent. Let me clap that up for you. All right, guys, it's another episode of the End Podcast, and I am so happy. One, because Jerry's back. So, welcome back, Jerry.
Glad to be back in the house.
He's really earning his co-host role. But when you have lifelong friends doing the thing,
Yes.
and then they get to come through and talk about what they do and share their experience and their story, that is something that I have to cheer for. The audience is happy
Yes,
about this.
yes.
So we would like to welcome Mike and Lyle of Streetworx Auto Detailing. Did I get that right?
Luxury detailing.
Luxury. Okay.
Luxury.
The
Make sure you put the
luxury-
luxury in it, man.
It's an experience, baby.
Streetworx Luxury Detailing.
No. And so let's start out with your social media, because you guys post a lot of pictures of your work, which if you're a car person, you're going to appreciate the vehicles that they clean. Because I've seen other detail shops, like, it's like a Dodge Caravan. And it's like, all right, I mean, it's not, you cleaned it up. But
Right.
it's not. It's a minivan. There's nothing more to it. So these guys are plugged into the areas. They know all the people with all the cool cars, and those people come to them and trust them with their work. So, what is your social media?
All right. So you can find us on Instagram at streetworks_detailing.
Okay.
You can find us out on Facebook. It's Streetworks LDS, and it is WORX. Not, with a no K's involved here.
Yeah, like Derek Jackson.
He's still
I'm
still stuck on that.
man.
He's still stuck on that. He's still stuck on Derek Jackson.
Check out the episode before this with Keisha Martin. And we go into depth about Derek Jackson, not Jask, but X. So I feel a way about that cat. Anyway, so make sure you give them a follow. So guys,
Yeah.
let's hear the origin story of how Streetworx Luxury Detailing came about.
Yeah. You want me to take it? Or?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
All right. So our father started in the industry. He's got over 30 years of industry experience, right?
Mhm.
And then he started branching out on his own back in 2012 under Streetworx Mobile Detailing. Right. So he was exclusively a mobile detailer, coming out to your place of business, your residence, you name it. If you needed to clean up a campground, he'd come to you there too.
Right.
So he's always had a vision of, building an empire around detailing. There's tons of vehicles out there. There's a lot of it for us all as detailers in the industry to work. And what started out for him as a hobby as a kid turned into a career for him, right? Lyle and I are both in the technology space. Lyle in architecture, right? Me in purebred IT, and just grew up around cars, man. Always something that had to do with cars. Whether it was drag strips, street racing when we were younger.
Yes.
Under the lights, tuning our cars, tinting our cars, upgrading sound systems. They always had to be just, an extension of who we are, right? And as of last year, with the pandemic, it brings about change, right? So for me, and I was a consultant, lost my gig due to the pandemic. Company was downsizing a bit, and I jumped in and said, Lyle, let's come and do this. So we decided we wanted to help him do a full brand reboot, right? New branding, new logos, new service offerings, get him and his business down the path where we could see it being, highly lucrative, long-term range, national footprint, goals like that, right? Having the sheiks of Dubai call us up and say, hey, come on over here and, take care of my Bentley, right? Those are some of the aspirations of the company, right? But, it's an experience. I've worked in customer experience for quite a while, Comcast specifically. And, what we find in our world is that it's not just, hey, I'm bringing my car over to you to get it washed. This is something that you live in. You own it. You appreciate it. You selected this vehicle for a reason, right? It's something about it spoke to you, and our goal was to create that experience in the detailing world, right?
Nice.
Right. So having the ability to refine and refinish, and it's like a spa day for a car or your motorcycle, your plane, your boat. We do it all, right?
Yeah, that is literally the experience.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, concierge detailing.
Yep.
Well, and that's very key. What you just said, experience. And we see that like the evolution of everything, it comes down to those who are making strides and staying above the fray of failure are the ones that are focused on the experience. Like, what are you doing? You go to Disney World, that's an experience different from if you were to go to Great Adventure or something, something on that same level, right? So you guys have managed to make your customers, I should say your clients, because there's a difference, feel special, right? Like they're getting something special in addition to just getting their car clean.
Yeah, it goes above and beyond the work. The visual product is one thing, but again, the experience is like the next step. We're trying to separate ourselves from other detailers by giving people that kind of concierge delivery.
Gotcha. We're gonna wrestle with your mic, Lyle. We got you, man. We're gonna get you.
The experience is what removes the commodity.
Oh, right. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
so because I'm sure what you brought to the table to where when you picked up the business versus to where it is now is that and it shows in the pictures that you take, which we shouldn't give away your magic, but anybody that's halfway intelligent can see that if a company comes and does a service for you and then they turn around and take a picture of it and show it on in social media with pride, and that makes the customer feel proud.
Yeah.
And, it adds to the experience and how they may feel about their vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
absolutely.
oftentimes, a lot when we're done providing our services, the first response from a customer is like, "It looks better than the day I bought it," and that for us is like the most gratifying thing that we can hear.
Yeah.
Because we want to take it to the next level, have them fall back in love with their vehicle again.
That is crazy. So how and what
Do you use that in your marketing? What you just said?
A little bit. We're getting, our marketing's coming along, so
Fall back in love. That fall back in love line. That should be somebody should be writing that down. Fall back in love with your
a little bit.
We've got some wordsmithing.
Yeah.
Fall
Done
back
some
in love with your
wordsmithing.
vehicle. That's a good
That
tagline.
is so I'm a person that doesn't have a luxury vehicle. Should I come to Streetworx?
Absolutely.
And why should I bring my my Honda Civic
Yeah. Hey,
to you?
You want to take this one?
Yeah. We like to focus on the high end stuff. We do work for everybody. No car is beneath our work.
Gotcha.
We're not exclusive.
No.
There you go.
We're not exclusive by any means. You want to bring that Dodge Caravan to us?
Gotcha.
With all the Cheetos and fries and goldfish ground into the back
Right.
seat.
I mean, if you have kids,
Mhm.
then stuff is gonna end up in the crevices. I mean, just if you have a meal, in your car,
Yeah.
you're gonna get crumbs and stuff like that. So.
We will give that vehicle the same treatment that we give a luxury vehicle. There's no different.
Yeah, I mean, everyone should ride in the lap of luxury, right? No matter what you drive.
Yeah.
Right, and you guys make it luxurious by cleaning it up.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, imagine seeing your car looking new every day. You know what I mean? Regardless of what you're driving, because the moment you bought that car, right, it had some appeal to it. It was new.
To you.
Everything,
Yeah.
everything was sharp. You know what I mean? This is what we bring back to every car.
Yeah, I mean, one of our one of our more popular packages that we offer is the owner's package, right? It's a detailed named the owner's package, and it's really designed with that owner in mind who has a daily driven car. They want that maintenance, that vehicle just not to go through a tunnel wash or through your Shell gas station and car wash. They really want someone to go through every nook and cranny of it. And, that's what we provide, for that person who has that Honda Civic. It doesn't matter what you drive. You should be enjoying what you ride, right? You ride your ride.
Yeah, I mean,
what you brung, right?
right. No, and I mean, and it actually goes to the idea that if it's yours, there should be pride in ownership, and just because it's not the nicest car or whatever, you should make it the nicest that it can be, and detailing periodically will keep your possession in the best looking as good as possible. Right?
It's almost like he's gone through our marketing.
I know, right?
So one of the things that we are trying to do with our clients is teach them how to keep the vehicle in that condition.
Okay.
Giving them also an easier path to maintaining it. Because one of the things that people, say is, I just don't have time, or I don't want to put that much work into it. It's like, if we could give you a 15-minute wash cycle, right, or process, and your car looks like it's been detailed every time you put that 15 minutes of work to it,
Right.
people get excited. So, Mike mentioned this earlier when he said our packages are designed. They are. We're just not looking at the services and just tossing work out. We are actually crafting a process, delivering that process, and then giving a shorter process back to our clients so they can maintain that. That comes down to us offering products. Like, we literally recommend, the same products as a package offering that we would use. Now they can have it, and between us working on their car, they can keep the car looking the way they need it.
Yeah. So if you come out to the website, streetworx.us, right, you can actually purchase all this curated, it's a boutiquely curated, e-commerce platform, that provides those products and chemicals that we stand by 100%. It'll give you the results, in between your detail services.
Yeah, and you guys, you do engine cleaning as well, right?
Full engine details.
Right. And so for the people that don't know, there's two reasons why you have your engine clean. The first one is it makes your car smell better, right? Give you closer to that new car smell. The second reason is, how do you know if something's leaking or you have a problem, which always starts off small. If a gasket begins to fail, it's just a small leak. If your engine is cleaned and you look in there periodically and you start to notice something, then you can take care of it before it becomes a big problem. So get your engines clean by Streetworx.
Yeah, that's one of the other things that we do too. As we're working on the cars, we're doing visual checks. We know. I mean, I've had my car worked on plenty of times, and things have been wrong with it, and nobody's ever told me.
Right.
So we will literally check tire pressure. Tell you that there's a leak. Like, anything that we see that's out of place, we're also notifying our clients of that stuff, and those are like those extra bits of detail, that helps the service.
It's actually wonderful because you don't have a dog in the fight when it comes to that kind of stuff. You're not trying to sell something to them like, oh, we can fix that for you. You're just bringing it to their attention so that they can do, so.
Have a safe ride as well,
That's it. That's it.
I mean, it sounds like a holistic awareness to
It is so sexy.
to car maintenance.
It is so sexy. I love it.
Next level.
Yeah.
I really do love it.
Holistic approach.
Yeah.
That is. I'm gonna clap it up for you.
Yeah. And that was, again, that was one of the things that we wanted to do to set ourselves apart. We've got a lot of these, I want to say, nuances or niches built into our process. Mike mentioned that we're both, technology guys. So, we're actually bringing a lot of technology into the detailing service. The way we run our business, our backbone, our CRM, the tools that we use while we're working,
So for the people that don't know out there, CRM is acronym for
client relationship management.
There you go. All right, so you learned something.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
2 things you've learned so far.
Customer relationship.
Yeah.
management.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, for you, but I mean, anybody that doesn't, you want clients. You don't want customers are great, but clients are better.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, coming from where we come from as well, I have a extensive managed services background, right? And we've brought that into our space, into this industry, right? Because, we want to build trusting relationships, and this gets into those folks that have those high-end luxury vehicles. If you spend $300 grand on a car, you got to trust somebody that's going to, put their hands on it, right? And make sure that even if they're moving it, they're not scratching it, right?
Right.
We're
Or
not-
stripping the clear coat off.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Ripping a leather seat.
Yeah, yeah. So, that approach to our business model is truly helpful because now you can sign up for a subscription. We can do the maintenance care for you at various intervals, whether it's weekly, monthly, biannually. A lot of people want to bring their vehicles out, so they've been sitting in the garage for a long time. So we'll see them in the spring, and
Like
then we'll
a
see them
year?
before they tuck it away.
Like they've been
Yeah.
for a year. They've
Yeah.
been sitting.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
exactly.
Rona.
We got the Rona package.
Now, listening to you both outside of there's two. I don't know if the audience is catching. There's 2 things that are happening here. You specialize in stuff that's for a car, but all the things you're talking about are business principles that people can extract. So you're talking about the CRM, and you're talking about the membership, the subscription, which is a continuity program, and the fact that you're bringing the technology, the marketing. You're looking for your USP, unique selling proposition. These are basic business principles, and you took that from what you were doing with your other careers, and you brought it to your dad's business to elevate it to the 21st century to help it excel. So if you're listening to this, watching this, I hope you're taking notes on the principles that they're talking about that are applied or can be applied to any business. It's not just their business. These are things that you can take to any business, and if you understand them and you master them, it will cause your business to excel and to skyrocket.
Yes. Hold on. Hold on. Let's clap it up.
Yeah.
No, I mean we live in a society where most people will always look at a problem as to what they can't do, right? Not what they can do. They may have a business idea, they want a service offering, but then they toss the idea away because there's other people doing it. But damn it, if you go to the supermarket, how many different types of bread are in the bread aisle?
Right.
How many different colas are there? How many different? It's a crowded. It can be a crowded marketplace, and it's always kind of it's the idea of having a unique service offering or a product offering is sexy, but actually it's more difficult because you have to blaze the trail, right? But when you join in an industry that already has other people offering it, I think it's easier because now all you have to do is figure out what everyone else isn't doing in that space and carve out your niche, which is what Streetworx Luxury Detailing has done for this area. All right.
Do you want
And
to,
that's
what
what that's called.
saturation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we live in Delaware, right?
Mm-hmm.
Delaware is the second smallest state in the continental U.S., right? There are 194 plus us detailers in this state, right? So Delaware ranks in the top 10 for saturated, volume of detailers per capita, right? So
Wow.
there's a ton of us out here, right? So to start this business in a saturated market already is, can be complex, right? So it's a great space for us to really, forge our way to separate ourselves from the others, because again, I applaud everyone else out there that has what they do, and they do great work. Because if you go on Facebook and you go into some of the groups, everybody's looking for a detailer, and it's 100 names that show up as recommendations, right? And just being able to say, people like, you got to trust these guys; they will do phenomenal work. That's the trust. That's the the referral, because work speaks for itself, right?
And you're a black-owned business. And how many of those detail shops are black-owned business? Don't say like 150.
No.
Don't take that away.
No, I'm not going to say that because it is a very diverse market out there, supporting minority-owned businesses is another thing. I mean, we're not just Black-owned business. We are Native American-owned business. You know, right? That's
Right.
our background, right?
They're slick. That was very slick. Hold on. So I want to kind of transition into what was the story? What was the story to get you to this point? Because both of you guys you washed your cars on the weekend, right? As your pride and ownership, right? And so what was, and actually I almost hit the record button when you were telling Jerry the story, and I'm like, man, come on, save it for the damn podcast. But what happened? What opened the door into you getting into this business?
I mean, for me, my passion,
No.
you know,
Not that story. Not the origin story,
No.
but with your son.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
want to hear that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So like I said last year, my son needed a summer job, and I called up his grandpa and said, "Hey, can he come work for you? You know, do you have anything he can help out with?" And he said, "I got plenty of work for him. You know, some of our commercial accounts, we have a lot of volume there, and he needed, you know, he's like, I'll insert him there. I'll take him out. And, you know, now this kid does amazing work on interiors, and he's only been doing this for like a little bit of time, right? You know, several months, right? And I'll trust him with any of your interiors on any given Sunday." So I look at his work, and I'm like, this boy is phenomenal. And, you know, he's learning some some skill sets about attention to details, right? You know, the devil's always in the details no matter what you do, right? In any business, any life story, you know, you can always get to the truth by paying attention to the nuances and the details, right? And last year, I was working for a large textile or science technology company, and pandemic took me away from there. So they were letting all their consultants go. So I called up Senior and said, "Hey, man, can I help? I've taken a month off of vacation and, you know, golfing every day, but now it's time to actually do some work and keep the KLO, keep the lights on, right?" So taking that, I started helping him out at some of our commercial accounts as well. You know, taking the principles I had learned about detailing my own car, and you know everything, you know, self-taught, taking his industry experience, you know, training, and just applying that. And his vision was always to have, you know, a national company where we have a bunch of Streetworx vans running around detailing everybody's cars, you know, like. And I said, you know what, with the help of Lyle, we can help you do that. You know, we can help you build that. And you know, just kind of turn over the reins to us, in which he did. Right. So I'm the head of operations. Lyle's the head of innovation and design for Streetworx, and you know that's where it's spun off. You know, so that's where we started a whole full brand reboot. You know, seeing new logo, new marketing, new advertising, adding new services like full paint correction, paint enhancement, ceramic coatings. You know, soon to offer paint protection films, vinyl tint. You know, that whole nine is, you know, is coming. Hopefully, it's fourth quarter this year for us. That's what we're mapped out to do right now. So, and I said, I can build that vision because, you know, I love being around cars. We're part of multiple car clubs, you know, here in the area. We attend tons of car events, you know, and this would be a means for us to be around our passion, you know, around cars and automotive, you know, racing, show, you know, Pebble Beach, Concours d'Elegance, SEMA, you know, this is those things that I've always dreamed about being, you know, doing, and this is my vehicle to pursue my passion around that. Right.
Okay.
So you both are in the business full time now.
We operate the business full time, and we have our day jobs still.
Oh wow!
So you know, the goal is to build the enterprise of Streetworx to a point where we can sunset the technology role and focus on it exclusively full time, and you know.
Yeah, we also have businesses of our own.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, we got a lot of balls in the air. I know me personally. I mean, every week right now, I'm, you know, running all three of these things. You know, I mean, it's a lot of investment, but I think the focus is to use those other, businesses to help fund this. You know, get this stabilized and ultimately just transition to it 100%.
So this is where your passion lies. So you're working to make this the full-time thing.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
true for both of you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
What
we're
do- what
we're
do-
in we're in this thing, man.
Mhm.
Like 100%. You know.
So, Lyle, what is your other
So I have a consulting company for architecture and engineering. So basically the same stuff that I do for my regular 9 to 5. I've been able to offer that as services.
what kind of services?
Could be standards development, training. I will do some drafting. I don't like production, but I can do that.
Okay.
Design work, architectural design.
So if somebody wanted to like redo their kitchen and they should get in contact with you, right?
That would be me, but I don't want to do a plug for for that.
Why not?
That company?
Why not?
Yeah, we're talking about Streetworx.
Yeah,
so.
but we can take
Hey.
a moment. No, man. No.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, it
Yeah,
sounds
so-
like it's all Streetworx.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
everything funnels back to the main brand.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Essentially, I should just get that one rolled into the holding company
yeah.
too, right? It's like-
Luxury detailing and architectural design.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Mike?
Yeah, so by trade, I'm an IT program manager. So implementations, I have a company as well called Velocity Technology Services.
He throws his out there.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
you're supposed to do,
You
man.
know, and that is contract for hire. If you need someone to come in and help do large scales enterprise implementations, any facet of technology. Lately I've been more focused on cybersecurity, right? Information security is where I've also developed a space in too. So
Okay. Nice. So, clearly this hasn't been easy, right? In the family aspect. So, what has been the biggest challenges thus far for you guys?
teaching an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
That's
You're talking about your pops?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resistance and hesitation, man.
Yeah, that's
You know.
that's if you take someone who's been doing something for so long and has innovative principles and things like that, but one of the things we have to rely on is our tools, right? And those products that go into it, and we don't want to run the risk of jeopardizing a vehicle in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
And getting the results of that can be challenging because a lot of our fellow detailers out there take products and blend them together for results, right? And mind you, it is the inspiration for these larger companies that supply products to us detailers to say, let's take a look at that. If the guys out in the field are getting this type of result, let's take a look at it and let's really develop it. Let's throw those millions of dollars R&D behind it and develop something that we know is safe, reliable, has a chemical composition that works together, right? And will not strip your paint or degrade your clear coat or whatever the case may be, right? Because there's matte finishes out there nowadays. There's satin finishes. You can't even take a polish or a machine to those finishes, right? So you got to really be conscious of that and know your stuff, right? All of our guys are going through certifications process. We're all members of the International Detailers Association, and I'm a certified Agile Scrum Master, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we are applying those same certification principles to our business here for us because we want you to know that you are coming to the right team that is skills verified, certified, right? So, but yeah, that's been one of our biggest growing pains, right? And we have a roadmap that requires us to move at a rapid pace,
Very fast clip.
to elevate to where we want the business to be and to sustain. It is just really, and by the way, when I say we're moving at a fast pace, we're not moving at a fast pace when we detail your vehicle. We take our time.
There you go. There you go. Right.
We're very intricate about that.
Yeah, business growth. Things are extremely accelerated. We're taking a company that was 8 years old and basically doing all the growth that it should have experienced in that 8 years in the first year of us actually managing it. That part is crazy.
Okay.
The good part is I know this topic is about kind of working with family. The good part is that Mike and I are like in perfect sync all the time.
Which is
You know,
rare.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so-
yeah. So,
Yeah.
you you have a partner who's already thinking the way you think, who already has the answers and the responses that you're going to provide. It makes it super easy, you know? So that part has been really, really positive, you know, dealing with a third partner who's a little bit more set in their way, that, you know, that was the challenge, you know? But outside of that, like, things are really, really easy. We work, we collaborate, we discuss, you know, like nothing is like not agreed on, you know?
Yeah.
And if we're really, that's rarely to ever, like, never happens, but if we're stuck in a cycle of decision, like, by the end of that conversation, we're on the same page. You know,
Right.
it's just us talking through the details and coming up with something that meets in the middle.
So the solution is communication.
That's it.
Always.
Nothing gets done without communication.
Good communication.
Good communication. Yeah.
Purposeful.
Open, honest, deliberate, you know?
Okay.
It sounds like your relationship might have had that before. It was you're always close, right?
Yeah. That's we joke about sharing half a brain all the time, so this makes it pretty easy for us, right? You know, so
Yeah, we finish each other's sentences, and we're probably the closest thing to twins without being born at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Which helps tremendously in the business side. The relationship, I believe the relationship with the siblings and how that developed outside the business is what makes it a catalyst for them in their growth in the business. So if you can come together, work with family, but if your regular relationship isn't where it should be, then it's only going to be compounded when it comes to the business. So if you don't have a healing in your relationship before you get into business, it's only going to be worse. But when I look at you two and what I remember, you know, from 20 years ago, it was like there was a closeness before, which it makes sense that it now shows up and manifests in this way.
And I mean, from day one, we've talked about vision, and his vision is perfectly in line with mine. It's like a utopian scenario when you think about that, which is really awesome. And it makes, you know, I trust him. He's done the branding, the business cards, you name it. And I see it. I'm like, yeah, I like it. Let's go. Boom, boom. You know, it's just, I like what he does. I'm always proud of him. So, you know, as one of his biggest supporters in that respect too. So, you know, we're both invested long range in each other's success. You know?
Yeah, we feed off of each other. I mean, you know, I'm a lot more laid back about things, and he's, you know, like really, really dogged about getting things done. So that, you know, that boosts me up, you know, literally, like, our strengths and weaknesses kind of complement and offset each other.
That's a beautiful thing. So what has been unexpectedly hard or challenging thus far that, you know, didn't think that it would be an issue?
I would say for me, some of the things that have been, you know, right now, just, you know, we're looking at a space, a new studio, and the market, believe it or not, for real estate in this area is very limited. And I'm like, I thought I could just go out and find a garage or a studio, you know, without trying to build it from the ground up, you know, something that and it's nothing out there, you know, so.
So if anybody has a space,
if you know a good commercial realtor,
three bays,
3 bays, you need at least
3 bays in the waiting room,
at least 2,000 square feet, you know, probably. So, you know, that's really becoming the challenging. That's right.
That has been the hardest part. Yeah, because other services are held up behind us having our own studio space. You know,
so, you know, growth. And, you know, we've got some designs for our own ground up space, you know, when we get to that big franchise point, right? Yeah. So that's waiting in the wings, you know, with our business plan.
No, that's good. And so another lesson for everyone out there, they're not waiting for the moment that they have the resources to actually then plan to build they are actually putting everything together so that when that moment comes, they're ready. Like, they're ready to move on and act on it.
Yeah. So. We're taking a bunch of jobs into my garage.
Well, yeah.
You know, and like that's the space that we have to work with for right now. That's what we're doing. But we're being very selective of finding the right place.
Yeah.
You know, so we're kind of making do until that comes along.
As you should.
Yeah.
As you should. So, but you also will travel to
Oh, yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I guess I imagine you wouldn't be able to do a boat.
No, yeah. No, I mean,
and in Lyle's garage.
No. We go to marinas. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
If it's dry docked or if it's in a slip, you know, there's different pricing and packages around that as well. You know, we would do end of year maintenance and beginning of the year maintenance on anything marine. You know, gel coat refinishing, ceramic coating, interiors and exteriors on boats.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive. So, for our viewers, listeners, subscribers, is there a Streetworx promotion that you guys are offering?
Oh, yeah. If you actually mention the in podcasts, we will automatically give you a 10% discount now through the end of through Labor Day. I'm not Labor Day. Let's go through Memorial Day.
Memorial Day?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So, but yeah, we also support our veterans. So if you're a military veteran, we have discounts for veterans and some first-time promotions as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so check us out.
10%. Doesn't matter if you're driving a Maserati or a Mazda.
No,
That's right.
It does not. No, it really doesn't. We want you to ride in a lap of luxury, right?
We'll make the Mazda look like a Maserati.
Yep.
There you go. So you guys are like really active in terms of your vendors for their product and getting the training and what their training for how to use it, their products.
Yeah, Mike really instituted that. You know, I think we had one vendor prior to.
Yeah, we had one wholesale partner that we were dealing with out of Kennett. They're an international provider, but now we're up to 6 partners.
There you go.
So, you know, diversification, obviously shipping delays and things like that, especially with the pandemic, we had to diversify as well. So,
yeah, I mean, you know, that also enabled us to do things with the company that it wasn't doing before. I mean, we weren't selling products. You know, now we sell hardware, you know, tools, all the cleaning products. You know, these are things that, you know, the company just, it wasn't even in the forecast.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and you know, those are things that Mike implemented like immediately. You know,
That's vision.
Yeah.
Well, I think what people sometimes miss when they get into business is focusing so much on just the aspects of that business. And from listening to your stories, you've done a good job of going outside of your what's the word I'm looking for? You've gone outside of what just detailing is and say, okay, well, we're going to do detailing, but there's other things that companies do that we can bring into it based on your career experiences.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times people miss that. They miss how they can spider web what they do, their core business, and then branch it off and say, okay, we can do more than just this. There's other things we can do that can add to the bottom line and take what might be just a regular detail package. We can now add to that one customer. That one customer can now become worth more to us because of these other things we can now bring to it.
Yeah. And, you know, like exactly that, you know, folks ask, what did you use on my car? Right. And I said, well, you know, this is what we stand by. And, you know, they're not going to buy it in the volume that we do, right? Obviously. But, you know, we have developed specifically curated boutique style packages of products. You know, you can come get bottles and sprayers and towels and a kit. And you say, here's where to go. We give you instructions and training on how to properly use it. So you take that away with you. And then, you know, as you get your car dirty, you come back to us for full up maintenance, right? Yeah. So that in itself was another revenue stream, right? That we were investing in time and energy as well, you know, and, you know, soon we're probably, in addition to a studio, we're going to need, you know, probably a warehouse to to store all the products that we sell.
Which is what happens when a person goes to a hairdresser. So if you go to a hair, well, I mean, I'm not.
Hey.
B hasn't been to one in a while.
But that's if you go to a hairdresser, that the whole key for them is like, how do you perform maintenance for yourself in between sessions? So it's like, okay, now you get this, and this, and you upsell a client to other stuff. Yeah. And I think those principles of, it's really one of the things I experienced earlier in my business career was masterminding with people who are not in your business, and then looking at the ideas and say, well, what's the principle behind it? Because it's not really the mechanism. Sometimes people get stuck on the mechanism, not the principle. So when you understand the principle behind why they did it, it's like, well, how do I use that principle myself in my business?
Yep.
And the example that you are setting here for people who are listening, people who are watching, is really the example of mastering certain business principles. And now when you master these certain business principles, they can apply to anything. And you can take your passion and you can monetize your passion simply because I've mastered the principles of business on a scale level.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, at any time we could literally, stop actually detailing and just sell products if we wanted to, right? Each offering can support the business if we truly wanted it to go that way.
Yeah.
We're passionate about vehicles, so we like touching them and physically molding them, but also having that other revenue stream in case our slow times of the year are always winter. In this area, in the Northeast, if we were in Texas or somewhere sunny all the time, that we probably never have a slow season, right?
Right.
It is weather dependent in a lot of cases, especially for our mobile side of the business. Right?
And really, winter is when people should really be getting their cars. That like you should washing your car more because of all the salt and
The
damage
chemicals
that
from
it
the
takes.
We are
road grime.
roads,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
literally
that's just
trying to promote that idea of getting the car sealed up and protected. So when it's exposed to that kind of road grime, salt, things like that, it's not sitting in the paint.
Yeah.
It's sitting in the sealant, and it's easier for you to wash it and get it out.
Right.
So some of what we've been really focusing on with our clients is just the education. A lot of people don't know really how to wash a car.
Nope.
And like you would be surprised. They go out and they get these old hand rags,
Right.
and it's like that's the first problem.
Yeah.
Now you're just getting ready to mar the car.
Yeah, cutting
know?
into the paint with all the debris and stuff that's,
And people don't know, and they're just like it's not even a thought to them.
yeah. Pro tip: wash your towels.
Always
Frequently.
wash your towels.
Always wash your towels.
And it just goes into, well, the first thing while it's in my mind, I think it's wonderful that like you guys have a cheat code going on, right? Where someone comes to you, you detail their car, and then you show them how to clean their car, right? And use the right product. So then the next time they come through, it's easier for you to wash to clean the car, right?
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, it gives them a better product. You know what I mean? It actually extends the money that they spend on the detail. It extends the benefit of that detail.
Yeah.
You were right on target with it. That was the discussion around us offering the subscription model, right?
Right.
It's like, okay, we're going to get your car in the condition that it needs to be kept in. And then we're just going to spend less time, more frequently, keeping it in exactly that same
Keeping it up. Yeah.
know?
And then the other part of it is that you will love your customers and clients' cars more than they will. So they can put that time and energy elsewhere in more important things in their life because you guys are taking the responsibility of protecting their investment because even though a car is a depreciating asset, right? You still want to try to slow the depreciation down as much as you possibly can. And the way of doing that outside of just maintenance is keeping the car clean.
Yeah. I'll give you a quick quick story about the appreciation depreciation, right? We get a call from a new client. Short order. She's
Found
trying
us on
to,
Google.
Yep.
Okay.
She's trying to sell her car. She wants to, or she's trying to turn the lease back in. Basically, she wants to get it detailed so she can garner the highest value. In us hearing her situation, now we're starting to consult her, about what she can expect, places that she could go to shop the car around a little bit after we've detailed it. Here's some professional level photos taken of the car, so you can actually send them to whoever you're going to take the car into ahead of time. It's like these kinds of things. It's more than us just jumping on this detail to get her, you know, in tip top shape just to let it go. It's like, hey, here's some extra things that are going to help your experience out.
Yeah.
You know, and she didn't know this. This was the first time that she's going through this process. So we're giving her other bits of information about how to conduct, you know, the business part of dealing with the car, not just getting it prepped, you know?
Mhm.
And I mean, those are just things that, like, you know, we're adding back to our customers again to improve that experience. You know,
That's wonderful. I mean, it comes down to there's a science to everything. There's literally a science to everything. And you guys have your business offers the science of the cleaning, keep the care of your car outside of the mechanical world, right?
Yeah.
Which ultimately will give you a better ownership experience
Mhm.
for your car. So Streetworx Luxury Detail, you really need to hit them up. Um, Before we close out, what would you tell anyone who's out there who's thinking about chasing their dream, starting their own business, maybe working with a family member? What each of you provide a little advice, a little motivation, a little inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to a young guy the other day at a restaurant. He is on his way to becoming a life coach, right? Ex-military, and some of the things I was telling him about was just my own experiences of always having that dream, and I don't believe in dreams so much anymore. It's goals, not dreams, right? So if you have something that you're passionate about, make it a goal in your life, to chase it, right? Get that soccer ball through the end of that back of that net, right? And from that aspect, talk to people. There's a lot of people out here. There's a lot of resources. When we first started out, we reached out to SCORE, which is a national organization. They have the Delaware chapter, which is SCORE stands for the Senior Corps of Retired Executives, right? So these are the folks that have made it happen. CEOs, COOs, CFOs, small business owners that are very successful as well. Do that research and then understand what you're trying to do. The biggest thing is write it down. I have all kinds of technology notes set up, but I also walk around with a whiteboard that I'm constantly writing things down on and checking them off as we hit that goal. So if you're starting out, trying to get your business off the ground, now's the easiest time to do it. There's so much money out there in terms of grants, funding, micro investors. Build your business credit, right? Work on that. Make sure you have a decent business plan and QA it. Talk to people about it. Have other people look at it. Let them pick your work apart. Don't be afraid.
Yep.
Constructive criticism is the best criticism.
let somebody shoot it down.
Yep.
Right.
Shoot it down because that's where you're going to get the best feedback from.
And then working with family, make sure like Jerry said earlier, make sure the family unit is tight before you go into business with family. Family's the hardest people to work with. When you run a business, if you have a lazy family member who doesn't like to show up for things on time to family meetings. I mean, I'm sometimes guilty, but of that. But make sure you understand that that's going to manifest itself into its work relationship too. So
Yeah. I think one of the things that I would tell people, especially young people, I think we're all led to believe that we need to, follow a certain path to start. And that path takes you out of school right into, college and then into working for somebody else before you start chasing your dreams. I would tell anybody who's maybe just coming out of high school and looking at college, even if you go through college, but you have something that you want to do, attempt that first. That way, if you fail or if it doesn't succeed or it's not as successful as you want, you didn't spend decades,
Right.
putting all this effort into somebody else's dream or somebody else's business and their goals. So I would start there. I'd also say that fear is a big thing. A lot of people, a lot of talented people may not trust themselves. They may be fearful of taking that first step. Once you get past that fear and you finally take that step, you'll realize that there wasn't anything to be afraid of at all. It was just you kind of,
Mm-hmm.
convincing yourself that you couldn't. Um, those are just some of the things I would say. Just make those first steps, and don't. Mike made me start my other business.
There you go.
Right?
Sometimes you need somebody to kick you in your back.
In a 5-minute conversation, he was like, "Yeah, why don't you just do X, Y, and Z?" And then 20 minutes later, I've got like my tax ID and like everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So back to that fear thing. I'm sitting here saying to myself, "Well, why was I what was I waiting for the last 10 years? The last 10 years of me convincing myself."
There you go.
Permission.
Yeah.
Permission.
Yeah.
Well,
Permission for himself sometimes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. A lot of folks have a hard time giving themselves permission, and they almost need an outside source to say it's okay for you to do this, because they have difficulty giving themselves permission to do it. And it's how we're programmed in society. It's like we're programmed. They were like, we gotta wait for somebody to tell us it's all right, it's okay, because we were taught, our educational system teaches us not to trust ourselves, and not to trust our instincts. So that's the downside of the process we go through, all the school and all this, and it's part of it. It conditions you to need someone else to say, thumbs up.
And you feel good about it.
Yeah. And
Well, I take that, and that's a very good point. Just I know you're gonna wrap up, but you take that permission, and sports helps us not to really know about permission, right? It takes your instincts and gut to say, all right, I know I can put that ball in that hoop, or I can hit that golf ball this yard, or I can swim the English Channel, whatever, right? That takes a lot of that fear. There may still be some fear that you might not be successful at it, right? But it will eliminate that permission need, right? Look at Charles Barkley with his golf swing, right? Dude can still hit the ball. He still makes contact with it, right?
Exactly, but it works.
It's ugly.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Terrible.
What I will say about fear, what people have to realize, understand, is you create fear, so only you can dismantle it. That's what it all comes down to. And fear and anxiety, and you can check out the in paradigm shifting, the other portion of this podcast, and I talk about that, right? Fear is basically you're worried about things that have not happened and probably won't ever happen.
Yeah.
And even if it does happen, guess what? If you don't die, you'll survive. You'll survive it. Yeah. And if you die, it's okay, because we all going to die anyway.
Right.
You just
don't have to worry about it.
Right. You still don't have to worry about it. So Streetworx Luxury Auto Detailing. There's so much more depth because I have a personal relationship with these two. I know the distance that they've traveled to get to this point, and it's a really beautiful thing. There's just not enough podcasting minutes to
get into all of
that. But what you see, who you're listening to, or what you're seeing, whether you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening to it on your favorite podcast providing service provider, is the culmination of passion, determination, experience, and just bravery, right? So we talked a lot about your service offerings and whatnot, but it's far deeper than just what Streetworx offers in terms of detailing. Like what you guys represent is something amazing that I would be remiss if I didn't point that out to the audience. So congratulations.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, hold on.
Get the applause in there.
So we have that. Hold on. And we're going to close out. Chill music. Anything else you guys want to share? You want to reiterate what you're offering to the In Podcast listenership?
Yeah, so like we said, make a reference to the In Podcast, and you'll get 10% off your detail package now through Memorial Day, May 31st. Come check us out on Streetworx_detailing on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, Streetworx LDS. Also, www.streetworx.us is our website if you're looking for detailed information on our packages. All right. So, but we want to thank you guys for having us on.
Yeah, thank you so
today.
much.
great chat. We hope
Thank
to come
you.
back soon.
Yeah, I mean, now I kind of feel like I gotta have you individually back to talk about your other businesses, what you offer, but also just to capture the entrepreneurial spirit that you both have, because that's ultimately what this show is about. Like, I just want for people to be the best they can be and not be held back by fear or no, it's just fear that holds people back.
It is.
So,
It is.
so yes, thank you for taking this time to come here and share your story. Jerry,
Yeah.
what you got to say? What do you got to add to the pot?
Collaboration.
Okay.
And when I listened to everything that was discussed today, the key theme was collaboration. They're collaborating with other businesses to help their clients. They're collaborating with their father. They're collaborating with each other. So look at what you can add to someone else and what someone else can add to you.
That's-
Hang
on, yeah.
Love it. Nice.
Love
Man.
it.
That's a Sunday bomb right there.
Yeah.
Drop that
I
one
need
hard.
a bomb sound
Wow.
effect here. God damn.
Blow it up.
You just pulled that out your ass like that?
That's what I do, brother.
We gotta have him hosting some of our inspirational training seminars.
That's what he does.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Bring him in to talk to other detailers about why you can be successful
There
and how
go.
you can do it.
See that networking.
Yep.
That's what it is. So, guys, please make sure that you, if you're in the Delaware Valley, that's South Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, that you reach out to Streetworx Auto Detailing. And even if, like, right now it's not in your budget to have them look out and do service for you, they do sell products. They might even be able to give you some hints as to what you can do to improve the condition of your car. But, like, again, they love customers, but they really, really, really love clients, and they would love to make you a client. And when you're a client, that gives you a whole wide range of ways that you can interact and do business with them. So,
And financing is available even too. So you can get that. Hey.
there you go.
Inspections are free,
Yep.
and we can put you on a timeline.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, and if you commercial real estate agents have any line on a 3-bay, 2,000 square foot space that they could probably get into, hit them up.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the End Podcast. I am Brandon, aka DJ Silk, with my co-host
Jerry Franklin Poe.
with
Lyle Street.
Mike Street, Team Streetworx.
yes. Until the next time, guys, be blessed, be safe, do good things.